In other world news, nearly 24 people have been detained across mainland China for supporting the growing protests in Hong Kong. Thousands more have joined the rallies in Hong Kong on China's National Day. These are live pictures from Civic Square, the main protest site. Demonstrators are demanding free local elections in 2017. They're threatening to occupy government buildings unless Hong Kong's chief executive steps down. Live to Rob McBride now, who joins us from Hong Kong. Rob, tell us about the crowds there at Civic Square. It's very late at night in Hong Kong, and yet people still on the streets.
That's right, thousands of people choosing to spend this national holiday on the streets of Hong Kong as part of this campaign. This is, we are now in the middle of this two-day holiday period, October 1st and 2nd. It has to be said the numbers here have dwindled quite considerably in the last couple of hours or so. Being a part of this holiday period, we're expecting fluctuations. And daylight comes again. But these people are again out in numbers. Normally this is, October the 1st, of course, is a national holiday here. It marks the foundation of the People's Republic of China. Normally it is a day full of patriotic symbolism. Indeed, it has been here in Hong Kong, but also this has been a holiday with a difference, as my colleague Scott Heidler now reports.
Like every national day, the Chinese flag, along with the smaller Hong Kong flag, are ceremoniously hoisted. But this is not like every other national day. For days, tens of thousands of protesters have made the streets of Hong Kong their temporary home, seeking the resignation of Chief Executive C.Y. Leung and demanding the election reform process be reversed, looking to scale back Beijing's control over candidates. Student leader Joshua Wong and fellow protesters were prevented from getting into the flag-raising ceremony.
While they try to play the national song, we try to turn our side and to use and to show our disagreement towards CCP to decide the Hong Kong political reform system.
But it wasn't just the protesters there. Those who support the Chinese central government's role here in Hong Kong were out to celebrate the holiday.
They don't allow us to talk. They don't allow us to fly the flag. Why? This is what they call democracy.
And those who are looking for democracy again flooded the barricaded streets of central Hong Kong on Wednesday. Big numbers since National Day is a holiday. The founder of the Occupy Central movement that started all of this, even before the student groups became involved, has said this has grown beyond his imagination. But it has now taken on a life of its own.
This is not organized by any person now. It's everyone is organizing. They are doing all these things. Hello. Yeah. Hello.
We walked through the main protester area with Benny Tai.
I just hope that our leaders in Beijing will be able to see how determined Hong Kong people are in wanting democracy and how civilized in their way of showing their determination. But I think we can see some very concrete things are actually happening in Hong Kong. As you mentioned, the Hong Kong people, they are organizing themselves, learning how to practice democracy.
Standing firm, he went on to say that the next move is with the government here in Hong Kong and in Beijing, which very well might be true. But the big question is, just what move will they make? Scott Heidler, Al Jazeera, Hong Kong.
Now, Scott, I understand the protesters have given a deadline Thursday for the chief executive of Hong Kong to step down. That's one of their demands. What's going to happen after that deadline, and if that demand is not met?
That's right. Thursday is the deadline day. They have said that by the end of this week they will start targeting specific government offices if their demands are not met with occupations. Now, this will involve a real stepping up of the kind of action that they were taking and a different level of law breaking, if you like. It is one thing sitting out in a street in Hong Kong, possibly risking arrest for obstruction. It is another getting into the compound or getting into a government building and occupying that. that, there are a different set of laws which cover that. So it's very questionable about just the numbers of people who will take part, but also there is this threat now. If they go back to this kind of if they take this kind of action, we will see a return to the kind of violence that we saw a few days ago, violent confrontations with riot police, which will take this whole campaign to a different level. But as far as the organisers are concerned, there is this sense of frustration that several days after beginning what have been massive occupation exercises, there has been a very little response from Hong Kong authorities, and that they feel they have to take this next step to move things forward. Foley?
Rob, thank you very much. Rob McBride, live for us in Hong Kong. Thank you.